but they are thinking green. Dave, right?
And by the way, thank you for not trying to scratch me with your claws during the open as you did.
Over the top.
And a layup for Kadeem Allen from Gabe York. A good start. Remember, Arizona had a chance to beat Cal. Gabe York had the ball in his hands late, but the Wildcats could not get a basket, and they suffered their third loss of the season in conference play. They've got 4 losses overall. That matches their total from all of last year.
We have a stripe out here tonight. Alternating sections of fans in red and white. I think it's in direct tribute and honor to the way they feel about the referees here in Tucson.
Three-pointer in and out for Dorsey. Long rebound to Casey Benson. And Benson gets it to go.
Casey Benson grew up in Phoenix, just up the road. Gabe York let it fly.
And York, that one rattles around and drops through his 51st three. He shoots in the mid-40s percentage-wise. One of the top three-point shooters in the country.
This is Arizona basketball at its best. They play at this level at home. For them, though, to get into that championship conversation, they're going to have to learn to play like this on the road.
Here's Ryan Anderson. Anderson very good in the paint and also showing that he's got a jumper. It's 7-2 Wildcats.
Perfection for Arizona. Oregon coming in. Wow, tough underdogs here tonight, but this is like playing against your big brother. You're going to have to hit them first and then run as fast as you can and hope the referees are somewhere in sight.
Dylan Brooks missing. Brooks with 20 points in 3 of his last 4 games. He has really come on in his sophomore season. Anderson with a jam. And a foul is called on Oregon, a 3-point opportunity. It's 9-2 Arizona. Boucher picked up the personal.
Have you ever witnessed perfection in your life? We have just seen it here in, let's see, 60 seconds, and that's 110 seconds of perfection. Dana Altman, he's got his work cut out for him. It was incredible at practice today. Boucher with the early foul. You cannot waste a foul because this Oregon team only plays 7 guys. But to see Dana Altman in practice today, that was John Wooden, that was Mike Krzyzewski, that was the fierceness and tenacity of Pat Riley, who's been being honored tonight in Hollywood, Florida, American Icon of the Year, following Bill Clinton and Magic Johnson.
So Jordan Bell in the game replacing Boucher after he picks up the foul. Here's Elgin Cook in the lane. They're going to need Cook. He had a huge game against SC last week in their win. He had 26 there, and he had 17 in the win against UCLA. Got another foul here.
Oh.
This is an offensive foul call on Tarczewski as Bell hit the deck.
We're calling this foul on Tarczewski?
On Anderson, excuse me.
That is an offensive foul, please. But why didn't he just drive in and make a layup?
We're going to run him over?
No, just like move to the side a little bit. You ever heard of change of pace, change of direction? It's not the NFL, please.
Hey, don't even talk about that. You brought the Cardinals no luck wearing that. Never should have gave you that hat last week. Brooks missing, rebounded by Kadeem Allen.
Hey, you're the one that started talking about birds and baseball hats. That's the Cardinals. That's the Orioles.
Nice move by Anderson underneath. And Arizona 5 of 5 from the field.
The fans here are just urging Dana Altman to call a timeout. He's going to play this through a little bit. But this team is playing with such tenacity, the Wildcats. Wow.
Brooks, an open 3, buries it. Dylan Brooks, a sophomore from Canada, 8th in the Pac-12 in scoring. And he has really played well of late.
Dylan Brooks, first error of the game. Well, I guess we'll call the offensive foul an error as well. But over the top, Kadeem Allen, who Sean Miller just raves about in practice all the time, because Kadeem Allen, he sacrifices, and that's the success required for team accomplishment, for team overall happiness. If you don't sacrifice, if you're not willing to discipline yourself, you have no chance. And Kadeem Allen epitomizes that.
Yeah, Sean told us that how many guys that were the National Junior College Player of the Year one year are going to redshirt. And that's what happened. Allen came to Arizona because he wanted to be a Wildcat, and he redshirted last year. It's a great drive by Tyler Dorsey. A one-time commit to Arizona, but he could not finish. Allen with a great find. Tarczewski down the chute.
Oregon's front line last weekend at home destroyed UCLA and USC on consecutive games. Right now, their front line, which was awesome against the Los Angeles schools, that front line tonight has not brought the level of physical resistance that you need to play against this Arizona Wildcat squad.
Well, the Wildcats are such a better offensive team this year. So far in this game, they're 6 of 6 from the floor. All of those baskets have assists, so 6 assists in the game. They come in #1 in the Pac-12 in scoring in conference games, and they're the top shooting team in the league as well, and they're 7 of 7 tonight.
So Gabe York, who's a scorer, and he's developed a complete game, but the strength, the foundation of his game is scoring. He has to come out with this type of explosive game every single night, even more so on the road.
Bell, wild shot, out of bounds, off of Oregon. Well, last year, Oregon lost by 34 here at McHale, and it's a 9-point early lead tonight for the Wildcats.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the all-new Lexus RX and RX Hybrid. Never has luxury been this expressive. And Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
Up in Stanford and California, Berkeley last weekend for Gabe York, those were rimming out. He made a couple of them, but it just never really got into that zone where he is more than capable of being the best shooter in the entire country. Justin Simon can't find it.
They work it around to York. Goes behind the back. He's really improved his ball handling, and it was on display there as he knocks down the jumper to make it an 11-point game. York is 3 of 3 from the floor, and the team is 8 of 8.
And every single shot looking like it's nothing but net on the footwork on the release. Gabe York, whose grandfather Don is here in attendance tonight. His mom, Deborah, never misses a game.
And a foul call here on Justin Simon. The fans didn't like it. His first and the second on the Wildcats.
Speaking of the fans, never go without saying, whenever you come into this building, these fans have packed this place for 32 consecutive years. These fans have led the Conference of Champions in attendance every year for 32 straight years.
Obviously,
Wow.
your son Luke played here. Were the crowds similar 15 years ago in terms of the type of fan that was here? They've changed the arena. They've made it a lot nicer over the last few years in terms of the amenities here, Bill.
This place is a temple. This place is a shrine. This place is a church. Oh, yes. Assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors now, joining the Ring of Honor here for the Arizona Wildcats. But it's the same. It's the same fans. It's the same people. It's the same atmosphere. And they keep winning. And they're going for number 50 tonight.
Speaking of winning, the Warriors 42-4. It's the best NBA start ever. As Klay Thompson, former Conference of Champion guard from Washington State, had 45 points last night.
This is a weekend of basketball here, Saturday. Check this out.
Buddy Hield and Ben Simmons, maybe the two most talented players in college basketball, followed by Kentucky, Kansas, then NBA on ABC, our Saturday primetime game presented by La Quinta, the Spurs, and the Cavs.
Wow. What a day of basketball. Thank goodness I've got a DVR.
Finally, Arizona misses its first miss of the game. It comes at 13:53 on the clock.
So who did you grow up watching play basketball?
You.
You're not that old. Come on. But,
Cook on the drive and a foul. Michael Jordan.
okay, so look at Michael and how he was able to go and play against bigger, stronger guys all the time. When I was a child, it was UCLA with Gail Goodrich, Walt Hazzard, Kenny Washington, Keith Erickson, John Wooden. It was the Celtics with Bill Russell, Sam Jones, Casey Jones, John Havlicek, all these little guys running fast, speed, quickness, team, skill, endurance. That's what Oregon has to play like tonight.
They got another foul on Justin Simon, by the way, a second.
But that's going to take a most remarkable singular performance. Who can dictate the tempo? It's got to be Elgin Cook. It's got to be Dillard Brooks. It's It's got to be Chris Boucher.
And that's the second field goal for Elgin Cook. He has 6 points to lead Oregon. Anderson and York with 7 apiece to pace Arizona.
You only watched one guy when you were growing up?
Well, no, you asked me who I watched. I was trying to encapsulate my childhood in one great player.
It's a pretty good pick.
Michael Jordan. Of course, I watched Magic and the
Magic
Lakers and the Celtics, but I was a little bit younger during your '86 campaign.
If you watched Michael Jordan, you were too young to watch Magic.
No, I wasn't. I was a child when I watched Magic. I just was in high school and in college when I watched Jordan.
Look, things were never the same for Magic again the day Kareem retired.
By the way, your 1986 NBA champion teammate, Rick Carlisle, who is the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, saw him last night. He said to say hello.
Flipper? Teriyaki chicken?
What? Those
were his nicknames.
Teriyaki chicken? Who gave him that nickname and why?
Larry Bird. Because Larry had this deal where we could all eat for free at this restaurant. He didn't know that Rick would eat every meal all year long there. And he always ate teriyaki chicken. So Larry just called him teriyaki chicken.
Oh, man. Cook couldn't finish. Here comes a 4-on-3 for Arizona. Simon and a blocking foul on Benson. Had that been ruled a charge, it would have been 3 personals. Instead, Benson picks up his first foul.
Okay, so Justin Simon, the pride of Temecula. You've been giving me grief. You gave me grief about birds, baseball hats when you were talking about football. I'm driving to work, I'm driving to church, and I hear your voice. You were so sad. I thought you were going to cry.
So you listen to the NFC Championship game is what you're saying, as Kadeem Allen scores himself.
Yeah. And so I brought a present for you.
Don't we normally say that to halftime? You've given me enough things over the years.
No, man, I brought you a present.
Well, can you watch the game and give it to me during the commercial?
I'm watching the game. I've got 2 hands. I don't have to look at the ball when I dribble.
10-point Arizona lead. Here's Dwayne Benjamin, 6th man, who had 16 points in their impressive win against SC.
Dylan Brooks. Roy Rana, the national junior coach up in Canada, would be so proud. Dylan's going to try to make the senior national team for the Rio Olympics.
Oh, there's no doubt Brooks is a talent. Go ahead. What do you have for me?
Okay. So you were giving me grief. And you were so sad, I thought you were going to cry on this radio show I heard you on.
You mean the broadcast of the game? It was on a radio show.
It was a radio show.
Okay, go ahead. Finish.
So I drove to Temecula, and I brought you some dirt so that you could get healed.
So this is really Temecula dirt?
This is Temecula dirt in a special package here.
I can't believe this. Thanks for introducing me to Justin Simon today. As Anderson hits again. He's got 9 points now. I make that 10 points. 4 from the floor. He also has a couple of free throws. Boucher rather, thought he was fouled. No whistle. Here comes Jackson Cartwright.
Great ball movement.
Fires a 3. It's good! And the Wildcats are 11 of 12 from the floor.
What a championship level performance on the court at McHale here.
Speaking of championship performances, that'll be the focus of our Walton's World next.
On campus, the Jim and Vicki Click University of Arizona Adaptive Athletics Center, funded by Jim and Vicki Click. It's the largest and most comprehensive program of its kind in the country since 1979. Dave, not this Dave, but that Dave, he's been running this program. And here we were trying to fix all the equipment and the machines. 7 different sports. It's the only one of its kind in the Pac-12. And then there's Mary Kate Callahan, who is a junior here at the University of Arizona. She's a world champion. When she was just a baby, she was diagnosed with transverse myelitis. She's been in that wheelchair her entire life. She's a member of the U.S. national team. She's just an absolute tenacious champion out there. That's her hometown, Chicago, where she got to participate in the World Championships of Triathlon. This lady standing tall among the giants. On the right, the Angel of Mercy with her red hair, so happy, so proud. And there's Mary Kate right now. And as a junior studying psychology, she's just so fantastic. She grew up in Chicago. Her dad was a big-time lawyer and judge there. Her dad wasn't involved in this. Mary Kate, she spearheaded starting 4.5 years ago. She started the legal challenge to the state of Illinois because they would not allow challenged athletes to participate. She sued the state of Illinois, and after 4 years, she finally won. Congratulations, Mary Kate. They're having a big fundraiser down at Riley's tonight, downtown Tucson, the Challenged Athletes Foundation, which she rides for, which I volunteer for, which our friend little Timmy volunteers for. Pat Kilkenny is here as a huge supporter. This is one of the greatest nights of my life.
Tarczewski with a catch underneath and the finish. Arizona 12-13 from the floor. 28-16, the Wildcats leading. Going for their 50th consecutive home win. They have the nation's longest active home win streak. They've won 23 in a row at home in the Pac-12. Their last loss was February 10th of 2013 against Cal.
Yeah, and in that Cal game, Alan Crabb had a monster individual game, 36 points. Dwayne Benjamin's got to get hot from the perimeter.
That's his second three since the timeout. And we mentioned Benjamin at 16 against SC. The coaches just want him to get more consistent. He's up and down as a scorer off the bench.
So do most of my friends. Want me to get that. I'm working on it. Here's that high post where Tollefson has to be superb.
He's short with that one, rebounded by Benjamin. Oregon trying to weather the storm of 93% shooting by Arizona to start the game, and 10 assists already.
So Oregon is only down, what is that, 9?
Boucher for three. It's still 9. Rebounded by Allen.
So Arizona has played perfect. Oregon has done nothing.
Look at Tarczewski. Sean Miller told us he's having the best offensive stretch of his career right now. Really aggressive.
He's just totally comfortable with who he is right now. His girlfriend, Brianna's got a lot to do with that. What a couple. Goodness gracious. Academically.
Oh, Brooks, great finish, spinning that one in as he knifed through the lane.
I love this combination of Deuce Ristich and Caleb Tarczewski together. Big, powerful, incredibly creative and imaginative.
Here's Kadeem Allen already with 7 assists in the game. That ties a career high. 7 assists in 12 minutes, and we have an Oregon foul. 15 foul.
You want to win, you got to dominate the paint. Caleb Tarczewski is the anchor. He's the aircraft carrier. You look at all those teams that have the longer winning streaks than this current Arizona's team at 49. They all got Hall of Fame coaches and a Hall of Fame front lines.
Well, Arizona sent 3 guys to the NBA from last year's team. Right. Caleb Tarczewski decided to come back. What do you think about his prospects as a pro? He's one of our green room guys.
Put him on Golden State and San Antonio and he'll be great.
Okay, what about...
Put him on Philadelphia, that's a different story. But with Colangelo and D'Antoni, things are looking better. And what's that guy, Ish for
Smith, yes. So you see him as a role player. There's 3 to shoot, by the way, as they try to lob it to Tarczewski in a turnover. Oregon only down 9.
We're all role players in your world there, Dave.
Here's Benjamin for 3. This one won't go.
It is Dave, right?
I'm thinking of changing it.
To Ish Smith?
That's 2 names, by the way. Ish is his first name. Long rebound to Tyler Dorsey. Dorsey driving and able to drop it in off glass. 7-point game.
So Dorsey has played very, very well, coming alive. And yet the Ducks still being torched. But the Ducks, who have flown south here on a charter plane, they're going to spend a week here in the desert and have a grand old time. They are showing real signs of life here.
Do they fly the Pat Kilkenny Express or no?
No, they have their other plane.
Pat Kilkenny center square. You can mark that off. And Walton bingo as Oregon, despite allowing Arizona to shoot almost 90% from the floor, it's only a 7-point game, but Tarczewski having himself a night. A 49-game home winning streak at stake tonight for Arizona and a 7-point lead for the Wildcats. Saturday, It's Big 12 SEC Challenge on ESPN. Player of the Year candidates Ben Simmons and Buddy Hield square off, followed by Kentucky and Kansas. And then on ABC, NBA Saturday Primetime presented by La Quinta, it's the Cavs and the Spurs. All games streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. Kentucky, Kansas, let's focus on that game.
Winning. Yes, Bill Self talking about what a privilege it is to play against John Calipari. San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich's 67th birthday today. Greg Popovich, who started as a Division III coach. Mary Kate Callahan. People who tell you can't do something, talk to Greg Popovich. Talk to Mary Kate. Yeah.
Pop coaching the Western Conference All-Stars. There was discussion that Luke Walton might actually coach the West. Remember, Steve Kerr can't coach because the same head coach cannot coach in consecutive years. As Benjamin slips and falls, and it's saved by Justin Simon. But a turnover. Out of bounds, stepped on the sideline.
Okay, now Oregon's got a chance right now, but that's all they have because the crowd is kind of settled in. The team is playing perfect for Arizona, but now you got to get Dorsey, you got to get Dylan Brooks, you got to get Elgin Cook and Dwayne Benjamin going offensively because they're not going to win in a slugfest defensive struggle. They got to get a hot hand, spread the floor, get running, and just keep that relentless offensive pressure.
And here's Dorsey down the lane, banking it in. We mentioned he was a one-time commit to Arizona as he gets a three-point opportunity. He decommitted. He originally actually never visited Arizona. He told Sean Miller he wanted to play there, and then there was some discussion about what position he would play. He wanted to be a point guard. They really didn't see him as a point guard. He ended up making the decision even before he was cut by Team USA.
Right, but the way the story played out, he's a Los Angeles boy. He's a Los Angeles guy growing up there. He wanted to go to UCLA. UCLA had no interest in him. And so he was at the game when Arizona won at UCLA, so he just said, I'm going to Arizona.
He ended up decommitting after Team USA was actually cut by them, and then last year he's got some roots in Greece through his mother, so he actually played for the Greek national team.
Wow.
So 32-26 the score as Anderson continues to have the hot hand for the Wildcats with 12.
Yeah, Dorsey, Samia is his mom. Just a beautiful lady. Got to meet her up in Oregon last time. She's a hairdresser, and she does his hair.
Sorkin missed the three, knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Oregon.
When I was in college, I would not let my mother anywhere near my hair.
You wouldn't let John Wooden do your hair. He wanted you to cut it. You wouldn't do it.
Well, yeah, but...
Wow, Sean Miller not happy at all with Caleb Tarczewski. He pointed to Dusan Ristic and said, get in the game. And he's letting Caleb hear about it as Brooks could not finish. Dorsey there, and he got it stripped. Ahead of the pack, it's York. York for the dunk. Eight-point lead for Arizona.
Yet another tribute to Chris Rounds.
What a move by Dylan Brooks. This guy's going to be a star.
Mississauga, Canada. 45 minutes from downtown Toronto. What a player. Oldest of three children. Younger brother's a ball player, still in elementary school, but they're all looking at him right now.
Brooks has 9, going for 3 more. This one too strong. And a foul called on Elgin Cook. That's his first. Here's the 16th foul. We mentioned that Sean Miller was not happy with Caleb Tarczewski. The conversation, albeit a one-way conversation, continued as Oregon brought the ball down the floor.
No need for that. Caleb Tarczewski is as fine a young man as I've come across in my 4 years broadcasting here with you on the Conference of Champions. Got to let that go. No place for that.
I don't think I've ever seen Sean Miller that intense. He's an intense guy, an intense coach.
Well, you have to treat people with decency and civility.
Oh, you don't know what he's saying, Bill.
Okay, I guarantee you he wasn't saying, I hope you and Brianna have a nice dinner after the game tonight.
Well, he's coaching. He's coaching his guy. Maybe that's his way of motivating his players.
You don't think Caleb Tarczewski is motivated? Coaching is not yelling and screaming at somebody. Coaching is making you better at life, making you better as a ball player. Please, the strongest, most powerful form of leadership is kindness and gentleness.
Dorsey with the layup, but I'm sure you had guys that either you played for or great coaches that you saw. I mean, Greg Popovich is one of them. He'll get on his best players because he knows exactly what they need to take it to another level. And perhaps that's why he addressed Tarczewski in that manner.
I played for John Wooden, Lenny Wilkins, Jack Ramsey, Gene Shue, Paul Silas, Don Chaney, Casey Jones, Denny Crum, Red Auerbach.
A steal by Benson. A chance for Oregon to maybe make it a two-point game. Sorkin wasn't looking. He thought Benjamin was going to shoot the three, turned his back for the rebound, and a timeout, Arizona. The Wildcats hit their first 8 shots of the game, but they only lead by 5.
I'm going to go pray to Father Kino.
Back here in Tucson, where Arizona has a 49-game home win streak. Bill mentioned that he was going to pray to Father Kino. This is what you were doing earlier today.
I always stop at this incredible monument to Father Kino, who came and helped develop this area all the way up from Mexico. And boy, I'm going to take Caleb there after the game tonight.
Here's Ristich, out of control, and a traveling violation. No basket.
That's a bad call. Deuce Ristich has incredible footwork. Here's a guy who didn't speak English 18 months ago, and now he's a fabulously important, critical element of this Arizona Wildcat team.
By the way, Bill, as good as Arizona has been shooting the ball, over 80% with 12 assists, they have 9 turnovers. You know, Oregon is not turning the ball over, and that's allowing the Ducks to stay in the game. 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
The fact that Oregon's within 5 points is a testament to how good they've been playing overall.
Sorkin with a jam.
Yes, 12 tribes, no casino. Romans, Sorkin, Israel. Goodness gracious.
Jackson Cartwright finds Kadeem Allen. Tollefson from outside, no, and Benjamin with the clear.
Tollefson left his game at Stanford, didn't have it in his home area, East Bay of Berkeley. Hasn't really had much going tonight. Feel bad for the guy. He's too good a ball player.
Here's Dorsey spinning. Can't get it to go. Ristich did not touch it. And it'll be Arizona ball. 3-point lead for the Wildcats. 3:18 to go here in the first half.
Roman Sorkin pump the three, go to the lane. Yes, shades of Tal Brody, the David Stern of Israel.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Continental Tire. For what you do. And the Venture Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited double miles you can use on any airline, anytime.
Coming up with Chris Hassel and Kara Lawson, the Land Rover halftime report. Iowa lost tonight at Maryland. And meanwhile, what is going on with Duke lately?
Look at that saguaro cactus. How spectacular of a day it was today.
Look at that game summary. Arizona shooting 15 of 19. That's my way of getting you back to the game.
It's a 3-point game. I haven't missed a single play. And Tarczewski is back in. Read Andy Hill's poem, "Forgiveness Will Set You Free."
I think Sean forgave him. I don't think it was personal. He put him back in the game.
You can only hope. He wants to win, right?
Well, we got to stop at your play here. There's some debris on the floor. By the way, did you check out Sean Miller's tennis shoes tonight, Bill? Coaches are wearing sneakers for cancer awareness during Coaches versus Cancer Week. Did you lend him yours?
Those are beautiful.
A little tie-dye in there.
This is Nike versus Nike here. I've got a pair like that. I've got actually some that are a bit more colorful. I'm not sure why coaches don't just dress like that all the time.
Why don't they just wear jeans and a golf shirt like some
they're basketball coaches,
broadcasting?
please. Look at this zone with extended defensive pressure, quickness. Casey Benson just playing a very solid game.
Arizona.
Nice defense shutting down little Parker.
Here's Anderson, 5 of 5 from the floor, 13 points, and he stumbled. No foul call. That's a turnover by Arizona. That is 10 turnovers now by the Wildcats.
Ryan Anderson, who, like me, when we were both 14, he grew 6 inches. He was sleeping 15 hours a day. Ryan Anderson's mom took him to the doctor thinking there was something wrong. Mom said just take him home and keep feeding him.
Here's Sorkin for the tie. Not good, but a foul called here. Dorsey trying to get the offensive rebound. So how tall were you?
I went from 6'1" to 6'7.5" in 3 months.
First foul on Dorsey, and that's the 8th team foul in Oregon, so it'll be a 1-and-1 for Arizona on the other end. The Wildcats have won 49 consecutive home games. Meanwhile, Sean Miller is in search of his 300th career win, including 5 years at Xavier and 7 years here at Arizona. They have throttled people, beating Pac-12 teams during this home win streak by an average of 20 points per game. It looked like we were going to have another blowout here, but a great comeback by Oregon.
Dana Altman, whose teams just always keep getting better. Right behind the bench over there for the Ducks, Rob Mullins, the athletic director, now in his 6th year, brought his young son Tanner with him tonight. There's Rob and Tanner. Tanner celebrating his 9th birthday on Saturday, and Tanner's already an exquisite basketball player. We were working out with him today here at the gym. Happy birthday, Tanner.
He was throwing you entry passes.
Was trying to work on him. He said he preferred to shoot and be an offensive gunner.
Cook knocks it down, back to a 3-point game. Nearing 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 6 teams in the Pac-12 within a game of first place. Oregon and Washington tied atop the Pac-12 at 5 and 2.
Beautiful post entry pass.
And Ryan Anderson is now 6 of 6 from the floor. 15 points and a 3-point chance.
That is the discipline of somebody who's completely bought in. Kadeem Allen averaged 28 points a game for 2 consecutive years at Hutchinson Junior College in Kansas. Comes out here, he redshirts last year. Helped him immeasurably. He just shadowed Stanley Johnson. Stanley Johnson, who was basically already a professional player in terms of his demeanor and his approach to everything. He got himself, Kadeem settled in academically. This is a very, very tough school to come in. So now he's going to be able to play and get his degree on time here. Fantastic success story, the Conference of Champions.
Cook got bumped, no whistle, and he knocks it down again. Elgin Cook, one of the leading scorers on this team, 13.5 points per game. 10 points in this one. And Arizona with a 4-point lead.
Oregon has been able to take Arizona out of their transition game. Elgin Cook high above the fray.
Anderson's first miss of the night.
Easiest shot of the night, too.
Dorsey's 3 off the mark.
Look at Dylan Brooks.
Oregon 3 of 12 from 3.
Dylan Brooks not afraid to mix it up.
Do you think Oregon is settling too much on the perimeter right now?
Heavens no, that's their game.
But we've seen also
who are they going to post up?
But we've seen his teams in the past. Now he doesn't have that point guard that can attack. Dylan Ennis was going to be that guy, a graduate transfer from Villanova. He got a foot injury. He is out for the season. They're going to try to get him another year of eligibility. And so really without that guard, that point guard,
are you stat guys? Wins. Don't give me this point guard stuff. Give me players. Well, don't give me plays. Give me players from any spot on the court. Tarzuski, an exquisite free throw shooter. It doesn't matter where they are. It's who they are. I mean, look at Coach McKenna on that Oregon bench, who's got a winning lifetime record against Larry Bird in college basketball. Creighton versus Indiana State. There he is right there. That guy could play. He would come and he would light it up. Couldn't run, couldn't jump. couldn't do a single push-up, but boy, could he play basketball. And that's what I'm looking for one of these Oregon guys.
Nearing 1 minute to go in the half. The Wildcats lead by 6.
Look at this crowd here. McHale, bear down.
Benson's three, good! That was a great drive and dish. That's what we talked about, getting into the lane. At least it opened a perimeter shot up.
That's creative offense. I like offense. I like big explosive nights. I'm not looking at these 10-9 scores. No. Give me 50-1.
Anderson got a mismatch here with Brooks on him.
Beautiful defense by Oregon.
Shot clock at 5. York with 2, gets into the paint, can't score. And Benson with it. Oregon can hold for the final shot of the half. They could tie it going into the locker room. And Dana Altman, as good as any coach in college basketball, into the game offensive situations. Let's see what he dials up.
Yeah, get the ball to your best player and get out of the way. Joe Young, player of the year, reigning conference champions.
Sorkin driving on Tarczewski, and he was fouled. They did have a foul to give, so it'll be a side out of bounds with 2.1.
Smartest guy in the whole team. Maybe the smartest guy in the entire athletic department here in Tucson. Greg Byrne has just done an outstanding job of elevating every aspect of this program. Caleb Tarczewski, the poster boy. I don't care if the coach is yelling at him. I'm sticking up for Caleb.
2.1 seconds to go here in the half.
Oh!
And the entry pass to Dorsey, an easy 2. Boy, Dana Altman right on cue. Beautifully called, terrific execution, and Dorsey's basket gets the Ducks within 1.
Wow, what a comeback. This was an annihilation. And the Ducks found something deep inside to say, hey, we can get this done. Just break down defensively, but Casey Benson on the inbound pass. He did that to Dorsey to win the game against Cal a couple weeks ago up in Eugene on the other side for a three-pointer. Deja vu all over again.
Land Rover halftime report coming your way next.
Gone from green to psychedelic tie-dye here.
I can't believe I just watched another man rub dirt all over himself. And you've won how many MVPs and National Player of the Year awards?
Not enough.
Go ahead.
Okay, Tarczewski, Ryan Anderson, the foundation. But as well as they've played, they've only got a one-point game here. So they're going to have to up it even more, because Oregon has played spectacularly after the first 8 minutes of this game. Ryan Anderson only missed 1 shot. Tarczewski didn't miss a shot at all. Got 9 rebounds there for Big Caleb. Wow. These guys are good, and they have completely eliminated Chris Boucher from Oregon's attack.
Arizona led by as many as 13. Oregon actually made more baskets than the Wildcats. Arizona had 13 assists, but 10 turnovers. A good start, though, for the Wildcats on defense. They get a block, but their interior defense struggled in that first half. And
you have
Arizona
no
had
idea.
no offensive rebound.
Sorry, Dave. It is Dave, right? So 2 block shots here.
But a blocking foul.
Caleb down low.
That's 2 on Tarczewski. And so Dylan Brooks, they're going to say it's on the floor. So
wow,
side out.
On. You got to check out Dylan Brooks. Why is Caleb trying to take a charge down there? Well, you look at Caleb, Dylan Brooks there at the free throwing. This guy was out the other day. He's got this big giant scratch on his neck. He was up in Oregon and he was out hiking. And he saw a big giant wild cat. And he was kind of like eyeing this cat. And then this little line of baby ducks came right by. And the cat was going to go and eat all the baby ducks. So Dylan Brooks went and he attacked the cat. And he got in a fight with the cat. And he got scratched all over his neck. It's just absolutely incredible.
Is this a real story or what you just came up with? After all, you just rubbed dirt on yourself on national TV.
This is...
By the way, it's a tie game for those who care. 42 apiece. I've silenced him. Here's York off the Tarczewski screen. Kadeem Allen on the take. He couldn't finish. Anderson there and sticks it back in.
The relentless onslaught of the Arizona Wildcats, trying to gobble up the little baby ducks here. Dylan Brooks will have none of it.
Dorsey, battered away by Anderson. Good defense.
Great defense. Great contain, deny defense. No gimmicks.
So 2 offensive rebounds the last possession for Arizona after none in the first half. Now granted, the Wildcats only missed 6 shots in the first half. Timers at 9. 2-point lead for Arizona. Allen hits. Tollefson backdoor.
Tollefson is such a good player who we never knew anything about until Alonzo Trier broke his hand. He's due back soon.
Yeah, they could get Trier back next week. Boucher with a follow-up jam. Trier injured that hand 2.5 weeks ago against SC. Played through that injury in a 4 overtime loss. But he's been shooting, and they hope to get him back next week. Rebound Boucher, and so Oregon with another chance to tie, maybe take the lead.
Dylan Brooks in transition.
And a foul on the floor again. So 2 fouls here on Arizona in the half. Like a Tollefson for the personal. That's his first. Boy, this Oregon team, it's something about Altman's teams. As the season goes on, they get better. They already have 8 wins against the top 50 RPI. That's #1 in the country.
Persistence, perseverance, and discipline, and listening to the coach. That's an offensive foul.
Wow.
Dorsey and Dana Altman are going to say, hey, look, you didn't call that on Gabe York at the other end, so why are you calling that on us at this end? Dana Altman, you talk about stories. You talk about Greg Popovich going from D3 to the 8th winningest coach in the history of professional basketball in the NBA. Dana Altman was a walk-on at a junior college. That was his entry into basketball at Fairbury Junior College.
And he's going to have.
Then he started coaching there.
He's got 19 consecutive winning seasons, one of only 6 active coaches to be able to say that. Offensive foul on Anderson. That's 2 on him.
I need some mascara for the dirt to go along with that call. Please. Consistency. The last bastion of the unimaginative.
Brooks driving, hanging, and scoring to tie it up at 46. Dylan Brooks with a team high 12 points for Oregon.
Dylan Brooks, who came from Canada to Eugene because of his love, admiration, respect for Ken Kesey. Great defense, Elgin Cook.
And then York with the foul. That's the first on York. 14 foul already. Oregon has not led in this game, and they've got a chance to go ahead on this possession. The Wildcats have the nation's longest active home win streak, 49 in a row. Only 5 games of those 49 were decided by single digits. The Wildcats have blown everybody out here at McHale. But could they be in trouble tonight?
You look at the legendary coaches responsible for that streak, for all those streaks ahead of Arizona. Penetration and dish. Somebody's got to let it fly. Too much creativity there.
Cook hits a 3. Elgin Cook gives Oregon the lead.
Elgin Cook, who mentored Kevon Looney when they were both children back in Milwaukee. Elgin Cook, who aspired to be the next LeBron James, now knocking it down from behind the line. What a game, what a story.
Bill rubs dirt on himself, and Oregon gets its first lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Science Energy Drink. Great taste, 0 calories.
Arizona trying to make it 50 straight home wins, but the Wildcats trail for the first time. Oregon on a 7-0 run over the last minute and 43 seconds.
And so many guys have been involved. Elgin Cook getting the shot up in the glass so Boucher can throw it down. Dylan Brooks just doing it all by himself. I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. Penetration and dish. So many guys touching the ball before Elgin Cook. And that is Dana Altman basketball. Dana Altman, who got his start as a coach with Mitch Richmond, the Hall of Famer. Mitch Richmond's son now on this Oregon team, not here on this trip though. Mitch, Phil, Dana, thank you for your contributions to the world's greatest game.
Meanwhile, out of the timeout, Arizona with a turnover.
They usually score out of timeout. That's what kind of game it's been here.
They have 13 giveaways in this game. And Oregon looking to extend its lead. Shot clock at 5. Benjamin hit a couple of first half threes, hoists this one and swishes it through. Wow, a 6-point game and a 10-0 run for Oregon on the road.
Oregon has found offensive genius in Dylan Brooks and in Wayne Benjamin.
Anderson has it stripped. Out of bounds off of Arizona. Great defense by the Ducks here in the second half. And the fans don't know what to think right now. They thought this was over 5 minutes into the game when it was 26-12.
Don't give up. Faith and patience. The Zona Zoo. Seth, Amy Altman, Bernie. It's all right there. 50 on the line.
And then Spurs Cavs on ABC. NBA Saturday primetime presented by La Quinta. Here in Tucson, Arizona, despite shooting 67% from the floor, trails by 6 to the Ducks.
And when you don't think you have a chance, as it looked at the start of this game for Oregon, just think back to the start of the season for the Ducks when they went over to Pearl Harbor to play against Navy in the Pearl Harbor game. The game was played in Block Arena, which was the basketball gym that survived the attack that started World War II, December 7th, 1941. When they were there, Mickey, who was on the USS Pennsylvania when the attack took place, getting ready to go out to start his day, he came in, Mickey did, and he gave the pregame speech to these Oregon Ducks, who then went out and realized how life can change, and you better be ready to adapt. We've got the Mary Kate Callahan story. We've got the adaptive sports program here. We got Mickey. We got it all right here. The Conference of Champions on proud display tonight.
Let's see how Arizona handles this adversity. The Wildcats in danger of falling to 500 in Pac-12 play. We're almost at the midway point. Arizona's won the last 2 Pac-12 titles. Here's Ristic spinning and scoring. Dusan Ristic, the sophomore from Serbia.
Arizona's got 14 turnovers. They had 5 in the opening few moments of the second half at Cal. Arizona's problem now is they're not playing offense. More Deuce Ristic. Gabe York. More creativity. Parker.
Get into a 10-0 run by Oregon, by the way.
Get the transition game going for Arizona. Wow, Dylan Brooks.
Couldn't finish, but the putback by Boucher.
So Boucher, who was a total non-factor. This is a guy that had 9 blocks in one game earlier this season. Granted, it was against Arkansas State, but that's still 9 blocks. And he has been not a factor at all in the first half, and he's come back and found a way to climb that mountain.
Boucher, good hustle, stepped in front of that pass. Knocked out of bounds. And it will stay with Arizona, 14 to shoot. As Dorsey returns, Tarczewski back out there for Arizona.
Too slow on the post-entry pass. You got to move your feet if you're little Parker Jackson Cartwright.
You talked about him blocking 9 shots in a game. He's got 65 on the year, 3.3 blocks per game. That's #1 in the country. What was the most blocks you had in a game at UCLA?
I don't think they kept block shots then.
How about in the NBA?
I have no idea. Maybe 8.
Here's Allen penetrating and able to get that one to go. Kadeem Allen. Maybe that will provide a spark for the Wildcats. He's done that a lot. Did it with his defense at the end of the Cal game.
Look, I'm not a stat guy. My name is Bill. Ask me who won the game, and I'll be able to tell you that. Over the top, throw it down, Chris Boucher.
Out of bounds off of Tarczewski.
I mean, here's Chris Boucher, who born in St. Lucia in the Caribbean. Fans here just irate as can be. Chris Boucher's family moved to Montreal. They became homeless at one point. He plays street hockey and soccer. Then he grows a ton and becomes a basketball player. Now he's a star.
Now he's shooting a 3, too strong. By the way, Bill, you had 1,034 blocks in your NBA career and a lot of wins. As Allen hip checked by Dylan Brooks and a blocking foul call. That's 2 on Brooks.
I didn't have near enough of either. I'm the most injured player ever. I missed 2/3 of my pro career.
The officials having a discussion here. They may change the call and say that's an offensive foul.
They're staying with what it was.
They gave it to Benjamin, though. I'm looking for Benjamin here on the reach-in right there. Yep. So actually Brooks hit the deck, but it didn't appear to be because of Kadeem Allen.
3 guys fouled him.
Oh, no, there was contact there, and then Brooks flopped, but they got the reach-in on Benjamin. That's 2 on him and 2 on Oregon. So Allen.
So you're judging intent on a replay. Please.
You didn't think he flopped?
Have you ever been run over by a truck? Have you ever seen ever seen a duck fight a cat?
Apparently.
Have you ever sat out in the desert all night long and waited for the cardinal to land on the saguaro branch to sing to you in the morning? Have you ever stood at the bottom of Mount Lemmon with your bicycle and say, I'm going to ride my bike to the top of that 25 miles up? I need to introduce you to Mary Kate Callahan.
Back to the game. Oregon leading by 3 over Arizona. 13 minutes to go. Benjamin drives, and he was fouled by Allen. That's 5 on Arizona. And they're going to say a shooting foul.
This crowd is fired up, and they're right in front of the Zona Zoo that have brought 9 bags of balloons here tonight. 20 big fat heads over there. I'm looking for the number 50. And this crowd down there, goodness gracious, there's Justin Simon, fathead.
Benjamin misses the first free throw. Again, Arizona's won 49 straight home games by an average of 22 points per game. They have the nation's longest active home win streak. They've won 23 in a row in conference here at McHale Center. Benjamin gets 1 out of 2, and it's a 4-point Duck lead.
So the other coaches on that list ahead of Sean Miller right now, Adolph Rupp, John Wooden, Jerry Tarkanian twice, Lute Olson. Phenomenal legends, Hall of Famers, foundational pillars of what college basketball is all about. Great closeout defense here by Elgin Cook.
Yeah, York has not been able to get going. He's got 9 points, had a bunch of those early on. Remember, Arizona started this game 8 of 8. Here's York for 3, and he's able to hit his second triple to get the Wildcats within 1. Bell couldn't handle it, gets it back. 2 Wildcats fall down and an Arizona foul. That's 16 fouls at the 12-minute mark. They get Ristich for the personal, his first.
When in doubt, back up and let it fly. Steph Curry basketball, championship basketball, offense. Who can create, who can finish. Gabe York, masterful demonstration of both.
What a move by Dylan Brooks, spinning on the taller defender and finishing backside. This guy is a talent.
And you know how you can tell? Because he's always shorter than the guy he's playing against. And the other guys, they got the big broad shoulders, they got the high flying game. But Dylan Brooks, he's got skill, creativity, imagination, balance, an explosive mindset, and the empathy of what it's like when it doesn't go your way.
14 points for Brooks. Anderson has 18 to lead Arizona. Here's Cook. Dorsey.
Love the weave.
Cook, another 3. This one won't go. Anderson with an easy rebound, his 7th. Ristich flashing, and a foul on Oregon.
Deuce Ristich flashing into the post. How magnificent. What a game. The Conference of Champions. Arizona being tested to the limit here, but with 3-point range, with dominant defensive performance, they're able to stay in close contact with Dylan Brooks, who's able to just squeak it in there. That guy, he's a Hall of Famer.
Part of our Wendy's Wooden Watch. Ryan Anderson of Arizona, midseason top 25 Wooden Award candidate, but his team right now trailing by 3. against the Ducks.
Oh, Lute. Yes.
Sean Elliott's coach.
Lute Olson and the Angel of Mercy, Kelly. Yes, what a couple. Oh, my gosh. They were up at the Bay Area. They saw so much basketball last weekend, and they're here again tonight. Thank you, Kelly. Oh, love. Got to have it.
Ristic with a free throw. He's got 3 points. Sophomore from Serbia, only a 62% foul shooter, but he knocks down both on this trip.
Look,
and Arizona back within 1.
If Shaq had shot 62, they would have given him the statue a couple years ago. Come on. Only a 62% shooter, please.
Shaq getting his statue outside of Staples. 11 minutes to go. Here's Bell spinning and scoring on Ristic. Jordan Bell, who's been quiet this year offensively, coming off foot surgery. Lost him 8 games in about 8 months.
So Jordan Bell, the author of one of the great quotes of all time, as to what he missed most about football, when he had his face down in the dirt, he'd say, I just love the smell of grass.
You want to let him borrow the Temecula dirt then?
No, that's yours. I mean, I can't loan somebody else your dirt. I showed you how to use it. The rest is up to you.
The whole world saw that one. Here's York for 3 again. This one is off the heel, but Ristic fighting, gets the rebound, and then he's tied up. It will stay with Arizona, though, according to the alternate possession era.
So Deuce Ristic is going to be trying with everything he's got to make the Serbian national team for Rio this coming August, but they got a lot of players already. 3 of them currently starring in the NBA.
How about every Pac-12 team is represented in the NBA? The only conference right now. They had a 3-on-2 they couldn't convert, and now they're going to get it back out.
You seem stunned by that. Is this the Conference of Champions, or haven't you been listening for the last 4 years?
How about Klay Thompson, 45 last night, representing Wazoo?
He is a true champion. Dylan Brooks again, quickness. I love the way their guys attacking the basket. Jordan Bell, Dylan Brooks, Elgin Cook. These guys are totally undersized, and they are handing it to the Wildcats in this building. The crowd is stunned, silent. They're sitting on their hands. Now, if the Ducks are really on top of their game, they'll make the fans start booing their own team. That's when you know you're a player.
16 points for Brooks, right at his season average. He's scored 20 or more in 3 of his last 4, including 25 in his last game against the Bruins. York's 3, not there. Ristic is, though, with the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. And if that's Bell, that will be 4. It is on Jordan Bell.
Deuce Ristic, growing up in Serbia.
By the way, after the Michigan State Northwestern game on ESPN, Jay Harris and John Anderson will have SportsCenter at night. Really? End your day on a highlight, Bill. You might find yourself on there after
SportsCenter on ESPN. Who would have ever thought? Deuce Ristic grew up idolizing Vlade and Peja. When in 2002, those 2 guys came and won the world championship in Indianapolis. Oh my gosh. George Karl coaching that team. Oh, George Karl, the 5th winningest coach in the history of the NBA. Who would have ever thought?
By the way, he's not coaching tonight for the Kings. He's not feeling well, so George Karl not coaching.
We hope that George is feeling better.
Sacramento with a chance to make the playoffs out of the West. They're in the hunt for that 8th spot as we are a couple of weeks away from the All-Star break. 4-point Oregon lead, nearing 9 minutes to go here in the second half.
I love this weave. I mean, that's Boston Celtics. That's Sam Jones. That's John Havlicek, offensive foul.
Yep. Brooks with a little forearm extended to Ryan Anderson, and that's 2 on Dylan Brooks.
I know that Dylan Brooks is a good, tough, rugged player, but there's no way he's going to throw Ryan Anderson.
Well, wait a second. You were just chastising me for trying to judge whether Dylan Brooks flopped earlier.
Have you ever been in a fight with Ryan Anderson? Have you ever had your neck scratched like Dylan Brooks did when he was defending those little baby Ducks?
Elgin Cook just picked up his 3rd foul, 16th foul.
But the luxury that Sean Miller has. I mean, if Ryan or Caleb or any of those guys aren't doing anything, he just brings in Deuce Ristic, who's always capable of getting it done.
Tollefson off the pump fake, driving, hit the side of the backboard, but he was fouled, and he'll shoot 2. 17th foul on Oregon, and they get Boucher for his 2nd personal. Gonna have a lot of free throws over the final 9 minutes of this ball game. Arizona, 49 consecutive home wins. Longest active streak in the country.
So what's the record?
Well, you know that answer.
I'm asking you if you've been listening.
Tollefson gets the first one.
The answer is 129.
Yeah.
4 more years of not losing a game here in McHale, and they'll be in the record books, beating Adolph Rupp's Kentucky team.
Tollefson knocks down both free throws. He's an 83% foul shooter. Did not play well in their loss at Cal, but those are big free throws. Get the crowd on its feet. They continue to run that weave. Here's Cook with a pull-up. Won't go. Snatched by Anderson. Arizona can take the lead back, or at least tie it on this possession.
This crowd is so awesome.
Boucher pokes it away from Tarczewski.
You need a quicker post-entry pass. Throw it in a line to his face.
Dorsey with a great drive and score. The freshman from LA, Tyler Dorsey, in double figures now with 11.
The fact that Oregon is winning this game by driving the ball to the hoop and scoring in the face of the best defense in the Conference of Champions. Wow. Dorsey, Brooks, Elgin Cook. And whenever they miss, there's Chris Boucher to throw it down. One time. Speaks 4 languages.
By the way, Elgin Cook just picked up his 4th foul. He played so well in this game. 13 points.
He was just magnificent against USC and UCLA. Slow start tonight as the entire Duck roster team themselves, but when you got big guys who can make free throws, incredible chance. And speaking of chance, is that Chance Comanche in the lineup? What a great thing for basketball fans around the universe. This guy, future star in the making, Chance Comanche.
And Sean Miller showing trust in Comanche by putting him out there in this situation. He doesn't play a lot of minutes, has not played a lot at all in the Pac-12. 2-point game, Oregon in front. Here's Brooks, and he's fouled by Tollefson. He was inside the arc when he shot it. 17 foul on Arizona. The Ducks leading by 2. Arizona started the game 8 for 8. Arizona shot 73% from the floor in the first half, but it's Dorsey and the Ducks in front in the second half. First 4 out, and Oregon State losing, as Chris mentioned, Arizona State tonight. So Dylan Brooks at the line for the Ducks, who are just 5 of 7 at the stripe. Brooks is 1 of 2. He has 16 points to lead Oregon, make it 17, as the lead is 3.
One of the ways that Dylan Brooks succeeds against the bigger, quicker guys, stronger guys, is that he's a ping pong player, which is a huge asset to anybody who's trying to play a game of skill, timing and position, footwork, hand-eye coordination, strategy. This guy, Dylan Brooks, he is a star of the future.
Oh, dangerous pass by Comanche, but they find Jackson Cartwright. He hits a 3 to tie the game at 64. He's 2 for 2 from 3, and he only shoots 28% from behind the arc.
Mark Tollefson, the high post man, making that swing pass.
Dorsey, no. Great hustle by Dorsey, but Jackson Cartwright took it away.
No. Feet out of bounds by Dorsey.
Yep. Arizona ball. Wildcats look to retake the lead.
Up top with the swing pass by Mark Tollefson. How tough it was for Tollefson last week in Berkeley. His whole family there, and he just couldn't get it done. My greatest failure in life as a professional has been not being able to get it done in my hometown. And I know the burden and the stain and the stigma. Come on, Mark, we're pulling for you. Keep at it, perseverance, persistence. Go talk to Mary Kate Callahan. Read Phil Knight's new book coming out. Oh, tough pass.
And that is 17 turnovers now for Arizona in the game. They have 17 assists.
There's Mary Kate. Yes, what an angel. Did you know that today, National Have Fun at Work Day?
Does this qualify?
How's the dirt working for you?
I'm not coming anywhere near that thing. I'm not convinced it's dirt.
Magic dirt from Temecula. Hand scooped.
Six and a half to go. Benjamin.
Whoa.
It's good.
Offensive play of the night for any player. No chance whatsoever for that shot going down. Just perfect. Nothing but net. Couldn't play better defense if you're anybody in the history of basketball.
12 points for Benjamin on the night. Ducks back up 2.
Whoa, they're leaving Gabe York wide open out there.
Allen for 3. And it won't drop. Brooks with the board.
Roman Sorkin is out there boxing out with everything he has. Caleb Tarczewski, so big, so strong, can't get anywhere near the basket. Dylan Brooks able to come in and sweep the glass.
Oregon trailed by 14 points early in the game. Weathered the storm with the crowd on its feet, going for 50 straight home wins. An air ball, but a foul. Wow, a late whistle by Larry Spalding on York. And so that will be 3 free throws for Benjamin as York picks up his second foul. 18th foul on Arizona.
They're showing the replay in the arena beforehand. Well, he poked him in the face as he walked. That's the Three Stooges defense. So Dwayne Benjamin from Lafayette, Louisiana, he desperately wanted to defect from Louisiana and come to California. He wanted to go to Long Beach Poly, where Ryan Anderson went, where Jordan Bell went.
Looked like he got him in the chest there, by the way, Bill.
Well, face, chest, it's all part of the front. It all rolls into one here. But they wouldn't let him into Long Beach Poly. So he went home to Lafayette. And then he came back to California, went 2 years to Mount San Jacinto Junior College, a legendary program of all kinds of sports, particularly track and field out there in the Inland Empire. He was California State Junior College Player of the Year his second year there.
And he gets the free throws to push the lead back to 5 for Oregon. A 5-0 run right now by the Ducks after Arizona tied it on a Jackson Cartwright 3. They get an Oregon foul down here. Hey, at least they're being consistent. They're calling it on both ends of the floor. 19th foul on Oregon. This is on Brooks, his third. And so Tarczewski at the line for a 1-and-1. Tarczewski with 101 wins at Arizona. He is 9 away from the school record.
So let's talk about the 3 classes that he's taken this year. Entrepreneurship, innovating for the future, negotiations, strategic operations, and management. This guy's got a future in whatever he chooses to do.
That was his first miss tonight at the line. Boucher. Fans thought he walked, and it's a late whistle, but David Hall says, yep, he did travel. So a turnover by Oregon. Nearing 5 minutes to go here in the second half. The Ducks in first place in the Pac-12. Arizona a game back. The 4 losses for the Wildcats this year by a combined 10 points. And they're locked up in a good one again here tonight against Oregon. With the nation's longest active home win streak at stake. Bell with the block, great hustle. Bell hit that railing, but he's all right. And Jackson Cartwright touched it last. It's Oregon ball.
Jordan Bell, who's just coming back into his own. Can only hope he's not limbo. He's holding his midsection there, but here was a guy who's missed 6 months of action. He's had 2 surgeries with screws and hip grafts into his broken foot there. This guy's just tough and fierce as can be.
Can Arizona get a stop? They were so good defensively last year. They've been up and down on the defensive end this year. Brooks for 3.
Wow. This is a rout. They need a timeout. John Miller wants a timeout. Wow.
8-0 run by Oregon after Arizona had tied the game.
Offense. A lead player. I love chocolate.
Our tonight's Reese's Perfect Play. Tyler Dorsey, freshman from Los Angeles, a one-time Arizona commit, running the break for the Ducks.
This is chocolate. Use the left hand down the lane, tease the entire defense, shake them, leave them in the dust, initiate contact with that lead arm, and just flip it up over the top so effortlessly, so gently. But this has been just a shocking turn of events.
And Dillon Brooks, for the 4th time in his last 5 games, has scored 20 points. And Oregon's winning the battle in the paint. You've got a bigger Arizona team, but it's Oregon that has 18 baskets in the lane.
What's the turnover story for Arizona?
Well, Arizona has as many turnovers as assists, 17. Oregon has only 6 turnovers. Now they have only 6 assists in the game.
Yeah, but they're having individual offensive brilliance, Oregon. They're getting into the weave, and then the guy gets open, and he puts the ball on the floor once or twice, and then either quicks it to the basket on the layup or hits a little runner in the lane.
Why is that we've been so effective, Bill, out on the perimeter?
It gets everybody involved. It makes you think like you have a chance, as opposed to one guy dribbling all the time, everybody else just kind of standing there waiting. No, this is like, okay, the guy who's hot, the guy who's got it, the guy who wants to take it, lead the charge. Don't look over at the sideline. We had this conversation, disagreement, argument last week. I mean, did you ever see Jerry Garcia play the guitar? You ever think he had right in the middle of saying a circumstance or foolish heart that he looked over at somebody for direction and advice? Please. Nice post-entry pass, Mark.
And Anderson with the finish. Out of the timeout, Arizona back within 6, and now full court press by the Wildcats.
Oregon do not get conservative. Just keep attacking, keep going through Dillon Brooks, Wayne Benjamin. Elgin Cook can't even get in the game. He does have 4 fouls, though.
Now the shot clock's at 10 as Oregon had to take some time in the backcourt to beat that pressure. Here's Brooks for 3. This one, no. Batted around. And Anderson with a great save. Here comes Kadeem Allen. York calling for it.
Big guys guarding Gabe York. Jordan Bell, Wayne Benjamin, excellent job. Foul down low, Wayne Benjamin.
19th foul on Arizona. A 1-and-1 when we come back.
Wow, what a game. On National Have Fun at Work Day, and are we ever?
Dave Pash, TD Derry at TD1 Tribe KU's. When I asked you if you saw Tarczewski as a role player, and you said, well, we're all role players in the game of life, Dave. Sunders Sullivan, we must preserve Bill Walton's brain so that he can always call Pac-12 games and natural disasters. At Jason T. Hall 1, am I watching the GOP debate? No, it's Pac-12 Thursday on ESPN, and Bill Walton is on. All right, Ryan Anderson at the line, and he gets the free throw. Originally, it was called a 1-and-1, but nobody moved on the line, so I'm assuming they changed that to a 2-shot foul.
They have to do away with the 1-and-1. Because a 1-and-1 penalizes the offense for something that the defense does wrong.
Here's full court pressure again by Arizona. Casey Benson able to break the pressure and find Dorsey. 3.5 to go.
Benson's so steady.
Wow, Brooks again banks it in for 22 points.
Dillon Brooks is like auditioning for the Canadian national team for Rio, which is headed by Steve Nash and Jay Triano. And all the NBA guys they've already got on Canada. Wow, what a player. That's a runner. Going to his offside, banking it purposefully and perfectly.
And a steal by Brooks.
Wow, what a game by Dillon Brooks.
He's got 22 points. 4th time in the last 5 games he's scored over 20.
And it's when he gets it. It's always at the critical turning point when it seems like Arizona's going to come right back. And now here he is again.
Cook is back on the floor with 4 fouls and the shot clock at 7.
You got to create yourself, Dillon. Get to the hoop. Lower your shoulder.
He does, but he missed.
To Boucher twice. The 3rd time.
But a foul. Anderson on the hack. That's a 19th foul. 3rd on Anderson, and Boucher will go to the line looking to extend Oregon's 6-point lead. Boucher, a little shaken up.
A possession to go. Dillon Brooks got the ball at half court. and he's just on the run, and he's just flying in. And the big guys, the wall of granite here. Tarczewski, Ryan Anderson, they seal him off. He just fades away and then kisses it off the glass. Perfect. Playing through that big giant scratch on his neck, defending the honor of Ducks everywhere.
Literally. Boucher gets the first free throw. The career high for Brooks is 26, which he had against Valparaiso. He had 25 last weekend against UCLA, and 22 tonight. One more free throw for Boucher.
What a touch. Well, for a guy who's been playing basketball for 4 years. I mean, you watch him in practice, this guy's got a real game as he grows into his body, even though he's already 23 years old.
He was the Junior College Player of the Year last year. Kadeem Allen of Arizona won that honor 2 years ago. 8-point lead for Oregon. Arizona's 49-game home win streak, the longest active home win streak in college basketball, in serious jeopardy. York's three, not there, batted out of bounds by Cook.
The heart and the spirit and the soul. I mean, this is the vision of Phil Knight, who in 1962 started that incredible company. Now he's coming out with a book, April 28th, Shoe Dog.
Here's your guy, Pat Kilkenny. That's 2 mentions for Pat.
That with his buddy Jason of Dos Gringos, the largest sunflower grower in the world.
Pat, former athletic director at Oregon. Here's Gabe York, 4-3. Arizona needs this, but York cannot find it in the second half. He's gone cold, and it's Oregon ball.
The way that Dana Altman has designed the defense to stay at home on Gabe York, he's just got to keep backing up. Move without the ball more, Gabe. Don't just wait for the anticipated opening that's not there. Throw long if you're Oregon here. Casey Benson has just been superbly steady.
Cook finds Boucher. It's a 10-point lead for Oregon.
Game winner right there. It's going to take a miracle for Arizona to win this game now. Over the top.
Oh. And that's a push, yep. Tarczewski got shoved by Elgin Cook.
That's 5.
Just fouled out. Yep.
Oh, man.
But let's talk big picture here, Bill, about this Oregon team.
This is a staggering win.
9 wins now against the RPI top 50, which is more than anybody else in college basketball. If they hold on, they'll be 17-4, 6-2 in the Pac-12. Is this a team to watch in terms of Final Four? Is this a team that could make some noise in the NCAA tournament?
If they play like this, yes. It's not a deep team. It's not a big team. But what I saw from Dylan Brooks, from Elgin Cook, from Chris Boucher, a hot hand in Dwayne Benjamin tonight. When you're playing offense like this, anything is capable. And when Arizona looks back at this game, and they're going to say, man, we had this. We played so perfectly and then just stopped. You know how hard it is to get a long winning streak? 49 games. They're going down here, though. I just don't see a turnaround unless Oregon absolutely collapses. But with Dylan Brooks playing so well and so hungry, get him to the free throw line and Oregon will win this game going away.
And again, the Ducks were down 14 early on. Arizona made its first 8 shots, shot 73% in the first half, but had only a 1-point lead.
I'm shocked and staggered that Oregon has been able to come back and win this game.
Well, not over yet. 3 to shoot. Here's Brooks. Brooks able to get it away and beat the shot clock buzzer, and that probably does it. 11-point lead with 1 minute to go.
Don't go out on a limb, Dave.
Here's York for 3. Now he hits it. And a timeout by Arizona. Last timeout taken by Sean Miller. Trying to get his 300th career win, but they have to wait till this weekend. Saturday, it's the Big 12 SEC Challenge on ESPN. Player of the Year candidates Buddy Hield and Ben Simmons of Oklahoma and LSU respectively square up. Kentucky and Kansas to follow on ESPN. Meanwhile on ABC. NBA Saturday Primetime presented by La Quinta.
I love these mid-conference season huge rivalries here. Oklahoma at LSU. Kentucky at Kansas.
And then what about
Spurs?
2 All-Stars. Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James.
Boris Diaw. Yes. LeBron James. Wow. New coach. Oh my gosh.
So no timeouts left for Arizona. It's Oregon ball. Full court pressure coming for the Wildcats.
If you're Oregon, you have to think about throwing long because Arizona is in such a desperate situation. They have to face guard. Oh, terrible.
Almost a steal by Allen, and it is a steal. Great hustle. Loose ball.
Dorsey down in there tight.
And a jump ball on the possession arrow goes to Oregon. Oh, Allen had a chance to corral that. And remember, he didn't have a timeout. He couldn't call a timeout in that situation. So he had to keep the play alive.
One of the 6 worst inbound plays in the history of Oregon basketball. And this is at a stretch where Dana Altman has played, his team has played the best basketball in the history of the Oregon Duck University basketball team. Wow.
They've been to the NCAA tournament each of the last 3 years. Did not happen very often in Oregon basketball history. He's won a game in all 3 of those NCAA tournaments.
I think it was Mickey's pregame speech at Block Arena in Pearl Harbor. Those guys have come alive.
Oregon trying to close out the Wildcats and end Arizona's 49-game home win streak. Wichita State has the next longest active home win streak at 42 in a row.
Were you awake this morning at practice where Dana Altman walks in and he just thought from the minute he walks on the floor, it's here we go. Here we go. I mean, here we go. He must have said here we go a billion times. He knew how badly they were beaten 27 points a game in 3 different games last year. That was the average win spread for Arizona. Here we go. That's shades of Phil Liggett. That's when you're looking up at the tallest mountain and you're looking at that finish line and you got to go. And Casey Benson cannot get the ball in bounds, please.
Boy, Larry Spalding looked like he was going to call 5 seconds.
Sure,
and then he gave the timeout to Oregon.
So how about a new rule? You know, Bill Maher's new rules. How about a rule for college basketball where you cannot call timeout on the inbound pass? Because you're penalizing great defense for no reason to help an offense that shouldn't need it. Please.
Meanwhile, let's paint the picture for you as to what Arizona has dealt with. Sean Miller saying that Larry Spalding called 5 seconds, and he did. He held up his hand, but then changed it to a timeout. Arizona with 4 losses this season by a combined 10 points. They lost by 4 to Providence, 3 at UCLA on the place all for 3. USC in 4 overtimes, and then the game at Cal by 1 over the weekend.
This game, though, has not been about the refs. This game has been about Oregon's toughness.
Terrific.
It's been about the Temecula dirt, and it's been about somebody rising to the occasion and overcoming the incredible challenges that this little, tiny, skinny, scrawny Oregon Duck team is. They come in and play against the big bruisers, and they have beaten them soundly in their building in front of this crowd, the best crowd in all of the Conference of Champions.
Bill, I know how you say it all rolls into one.
Right.
1 year ago tonight.
Right.
As Ben's
throw it up there. Dwayne Benjamin.
It's into the arms of Dorsey, and he's fouled, so Dorsey will go to the line.
Don't let Casey Benson take the ball out of bounds. Please, let somebody else throw it in bounds. That's not his strength.
So, Bill, 1 year ago tonight, on this date last year, Oregon lost by 34 here in Tucson.
Right.
And they're 42.5 away from winning this as the Ducks are getting all the bounces here in the final minute.
This guy, Dorsey, Tyler Dorsey, an injury to him cost them a huge game. They went over to Boise State. He had a bad knee and he couldn't play. Granted, Boise State is one of the elite teams in the Mountain West Conference, but Oregon was playing very well at the time. Oh my goodness.
1 out of 2 for Dorsey. 9-point lead for Oregon. Inside 40 seconds to go. York for 3. Hit it. It's a 6-point game. Here comes full court pressure again. Oregon has 1 timeout remaining.
Attack over the top.
2-on-1. Dorsey alley-oop to Boucher.
Yeah, Dwayne Benjamin said, Casey, don't take it out. I'll take it out. And he threw over the top and they get a 2-on-1. That's an offensive foul.
York pushes off his 4th foul.
This is going to go down as one of the great victories in Oregon basketball history. Over that top pass, that's the one you always look for, but you have to have the size and the vision and the anticipation as the inbounder to see that that's open all the time. Casey was just looking for the short one.
Arizona not fouling, and the Wildcats' 49-game home win streak The NCAA longest active home win streak is over. They had won 23 in a row at home in conference. For the Wildcats, despite shooting 61% from the floor tonight and 73% in the first half, are going to lose on their home floor for the first time in 3 years.
Who would have thought? And the ultimate victory, these Oregon Ducks, they made this crowd walk out early. For the last few minutes, these loyal fans who have filled this arena for 32 years, they left early and turned their backs on their beloved Wildcats. Congratulations to the Ducks. What a game, a day I will never forget. National Have Fun at Work Day. Thank you, Dave. It is Dave, right?
For Bill Walton, I'm Dave Pash saying good night from Tucson. Stay tuned for 4 Falls of Buffalo next.